Yo, it's the Talk with B podcast, posting every Tuesday, where we talk about anything and everything, hosted by Branden-Lee, aka B Lee. Come on and tune in with me on all social media platforms so we can have a talk.
Yo, guys, what's up? It is B Lee here, and I'm getting ready to do another podcast, of course. Now, the reason why I'm doing this podcast today, because this is just a spur of the moment off the top of my head, because lately, like, I've been unemployed right now, but I've been taking my time and, like, trying to find out what I'm really good at, what I really like to do. I signed up to take some classes through Temple, and I'm just really good at business. So as I continue to like apply and do all these jobs, even odd jobs, I mean, I'm good with my hands, but there are some people that are built to run businesses and be creators. And when I say be a creator, I'm talking about to make jobs and of employment for other people. And, as I travel around, all over the US, I talk to different people, I people watch, and I do people surveys. So when I do people surveys, I do my own people survey, right? So I dress like crap, right? Like for instance, I went to the seminar. So it's like a 3-day seminar in Vegas, which is free, which is pretty cool. And so what I do is when I go to the seminar, right? The first day I dress up, not like a bum, but just like some gym shorts and a t-shirt, right? It's a business seminar, Then the second day, I dress up as, business casual, right? Shirt, no tie, slacks, loafers, looking good, right? And the third day, I dress up as a blue collar, some jeans. It's the last day, jeans, some sneakers, and a polo tucked in, right? Blue collar guy. So the reason why I do this is because I look and I see who I interact with when I dress those different ways, right? So it seems that I get more attention as a blue collared person at that particular event. Now that was an invention convention. And there was another one that was a cleaning convention. So it's more a business or blue collared people, right? People who work with their hands, blue collared, all right? Now, when I go to these like big networking events, when I'm talking about big, I'm talking about corporate CEOs, founders and stuff, just like myself, a founder. Then I dressed up as business casual all the time because I already know what it's like. I already have the expectation. And at first, when I went to these networking events, I would dress as, I would just say like say business casual, but it would be laid back. I had my piercings in, I had some jewelry on, but I got different, I don't know, expectations, but different reactions. That's what I'm looking for, the word reactions. I got different reactions from people that I was speaking with when I went to these other networking events dressed as a blue collar person. So what I learned was you have to go off your audience, right? You have to look ahead, which I learned in the Red Book of Selling, and also the Robert Greene book is The Laws of Human Nature. You need to know your audience. You need to know who you're talking to, who you're being around. That's why I'm a great salesman. I'm a great business person, because I have so many experiences and I continue to travel around on Frontier or on a train. Because people, when you say you travel, people think you have to take, first class flights, wherever you're going. I drove truck. I'm not scared to pump my car up. Hence, that's why I got rid of my Tesla, so I got to stop and charge. I'm not scared to pop my car up and go for a drive. All right. I got a small little cheap car. It's like $40 to fill up. I'm hitting the road and I want to go travel and go talk to some people and just see some sights, right? But here in my hometown, right? My hometown is a little different. I know our hometown has a population of 50,000 people, the city, right? It's 50,000 people. And then if you divide that up by race, okay? So you got African-American, Caucasian, Hispanic, Indian / Nepali, and whatever else, Asian, Pacific Asian, whatever, that trickles down to, I would say, I don't know, maybe, don't quote me, I don't know what it'd be, but it makes up for that 50,000 people in my city, right? So it's really, really small. So what I'm getting at is everybody knows everyone. everyone's cousin. That's why I date out of my race. I am considered Black or African American, but I'm really American. I don't like saying African because I'm not from Africa. I've never been there, and my skull is shaped different than theirs. But anyway, that's just my little 2 cents. But those people, everyone knows everyone. Everyone's cousin. Everyone knows everybody. Everybody went to high school together. A lot of people who leave, graduate, leave, they come back. Everyone knows everyone. Okay. So when I get out and I go to different places, inside town, people have these expectations because I'm a business person, but people don't know. Like, that's why I have on my Facebook, the guy of Starbucks didn't pay himself for, I believe it was over 10 years or 7 years. He didn't pay himself. It's the same thing at Grant Cardone, which is one of my top guys I like listening to, business people I like listening to on podcasts. They don't pay themselves in business. Even artists, these artists that, perform, that's why they perform. They don't make money off of their songs. It's pennies on the dollar. That's why they have to perform. People don't know that though, because people are ignorant and they don't read and they don't do research, which is fine, but other people who do know where I'm getting at with this. So I'm around town, and then what I learned is when I people watch and I people survey, a lot of people go off of brands, right? They're looking at, Louis Vuitton or Saint Laurent. They like de Jour, all these designer brands, but nobody really looks where they're made at in the factory. So if you wear those designer brands, like for me personally, I like Old Navy and the Gap. The reason why the Old Navy jeans are great, so are the Gap jeans and the Gap sweatsuits. I'm not giving away any secrets or anything. This is just what I like, the Gap. Their clothes are so soft. Even it's like Hollister and Abercrombie and Fitch. It's all about the thread count and where it's made at. 9 times out of 10, they're all made in the same factory, and it's just a different thread count, right? But it really it's surprising me and it makes me laugh because in my culture, I would say, if you don't have a fancy car, you don't have a lot of jewelry, you're not rocking the Louis fashion, it means that you don't have the cash or you don't have any money at all. And I'm not saying that I have money because I don't. I don't, not yet. I'm still working to where I want to be. That's why I said the stuff about, not paying yourself, having a business and stuff. But it's really sad how I would say my culture, when I say my culture, I'm talking about African American, what they sit right down, or urban culture it's really sad, you know. I've been battling out with one of my neighbors, and she deliberately said she just wants money from me because she believes I have a lot of money. And she said that deliberately out of her mouth when she got upset. Um, and I talked about it in my podcast and before about finding happiness and stuff like that. But it's really sad because in the Bible, it says the love of money is the root of all evil. And even they say, when you get a bunch of money, you're going to start acting funny. But for me and what I've learned from hanging around my family and friends or my urban culture or whatever you want to say, when we get a lot of money, we go and blow it. I've done it before in the past, but I had to go through a hard point in time. When I get money now, especially now I'm unemployed, I'm glad I saved some for a time like this because unemployment is taking their time approving me for my unemployment. So I'm out here doing little odd jobs, fixing lawnmowers or someone's car or painting or cutting someone's grass just to try to get some cash until unemployment gets what they got to get going on, right? So this is the thing I learned. I lost it all. I was sleeping in my car at one point in time, bouncing from friends to friends' house, right? Now I'm minimizing, okay? I don't have any furniture in my house besides a bed, I don't watch TV, so I don't have a TV. But that means that apparently that means that you don't have it. Now, I'm not saying I do, but because I'm minimizing and that I learned that having less is actually more, right? Even when I had my business, it was plentiful, it was nice, but it wasn't worth the headache. It wasn't worth the trouble finding different people to work. It's not worth, sending people for drug tests and hiring and firing people and having an assistant. At one point in time, I had a nanny at one point in time taking care of my kids as I was a single dad. And it might sound like it was nice living the life, but it was a headache. I was stressed out. I lost a lot of weight. I did, get to where I wanted to be at a point in time. But at one point in time, it was like, this enough is enough. I can't deal with it. And mainly it's the people. Now people are like, maybe it's the people you hire. You're not interviewing the right people. You're not doing this. And that's not true, right? Because I subbed a lot of work, but you got to figure out the industry you're in, right? I'm in the cleaning industry. How many people with associate's degrees or master degrees or anything else is going to look for a good job cleaning? Maybe a teacher or something part-time or something like that, right? But I hired those people too. And what I find out is a lot of people move slower than I move, right? I move very fast. The reason why is I think is because I was raised by my grandparents. I put my headphones in. I'm not sitting around texting. I'm not calling people. When I go to work, I go to work to work. And I think that's why a lot of these employers do like me until recently when I started talking back and I found out I can't do that anymore. But I go to work to work. So for me to clean an office by myself, it takes me roughly 30 to 45 minutes because I have a routine. I know that office inside and out because I've been there for so long. Some of my old contracts have been there for like a year or two. So I know when something's out of place. I know what comes. I know the frequency. I know how the trash gets filled up. I know that building or that office like the back of my hand. Now, when I hire somebody else, I do factor in, or I used to factor in, it would take that person, even though it takes me 30 to 45 minutes, it's going to take this person 2 hours until they get fully trained. And then they might get it down to an hour. But that's on a good day. That's on the day when they're not looking at their phone, texting, changing their music, talking to their buddy on the phone. And then I had to go back later, have a supervisor when I did have one, go and check their work after they were done cleaning. And then what happened after that? I had to get rid of the supervisor and then I had to come in to come do the work because the supervisor wasn't doing the work. Now, everyone says it's all about the training, and I train very well. I have the SOPs, but it's all about the education level. That's why a lot of these, it's constant turnover, not only with my company, but a lot of other cleaning companies. It's the education level. It's the people that you're getting. There's a lot of people with backgrounds. There's a lot of people who I don't have other stuff going on in their personal life, right? So that's why I come to the fact where it's not like it's headache. And that's why I am in school for business analytics. And because I like people watching, I like surveying and putting things on a pie graph and seeing why this person does this, how they do that, what makes them do this, see a trend, right? So maybe I possibly did find out what I was good at. I don't know. But we're going to find out because the best investment is in yourself and education. See, education is something that no one can take away from you, which is a pretty good thing. So lastly, I want to leave you guys with this, because if you listen to me, I said I move a lot faster than other people. And I was just in a seminar with Cody Sanchez, which is another business lady. And I listened to her podcast and stuff. And what I learned from her seminar is it's not about being the smartest person. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's not about being the smartest person at the convention, in your classroom, in your house, in the group of friends you hang out with. There's always going to be somebody out there smarter than you. And when you do end up wherever you're at, room, office, with people smarter than you shut up and you listen. But she also taught me that it's all about not being smarter, but being faster. And that's, I think, why my business did take off as soon and as fast as it was, because I was faster. When that phone rang, I picked up right away, or I had someone else pick up. I responded right away. Those emails, boom, 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 boom. That's what it is. It's faster, not smarter. But now I'm getting smarter by going to school and taking these classes and these courses and going to these seminars and stuff, virtual ones in person, networking and facing my fears. So now I'm going to be smart and fast. So I guess that's going to be genius level. Who knows? But if you like this podcast, put it down in the comments if you're watching on YouTube or you're watching it or on Spotify. Like it, subscribe. I'm doing this every Tuesday. It's only going to get better. I'm always looking for people to interview too. So I will drop the email link in there so you can go ahead and interview. And this podcast is for anybody. It's just not business people. It's not music people. It's for anyone and everyone, whether you're at McDonald's, whether you're a janitor, whether you're a corporate CEO, whoever, whatever you are, or if you're a mouse or a raccoon or a bird, I want to talk to you. All right. So, thanks for talking with me. It's Branden-Lee, aka B Lee. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Thanks for tuning in. It's B Lee with the Talk with B podcast. I appreciate you tuning in today. And I want you to like and share and subscribe. And of course, always share the podcast. And hopefully we're going to have a nice episode for you next Tuesday.